Hello and welcome to successfultradings.com. In today's video, we are going to be focusing on trading SPY weekly calls, and I just want to really take the time to share this short video with the subscribers and new viewers of the channel as well, as they may be. We are on March the 2nd, so this was yesterday. Monday was the first day of the month of March, and right now you are looking at SPY. I purposely looking at the wide range to illustrate a point on here. The point is that this is not the first time that we have gone through a pullback on this ETF. Okay, so I mentioned in last week video on blog at successfultradings.com that this week will even be better for day traders, swing traders, and people who do scalping. If you don't know what that is, check out one of the previous video that we have, where I'm going to put it in this one as additional material. So my piece of advice for this week is to absolutely close your ears and do not listen to the news, because that's gonna prevent you from actually making the most of the opportunity. I'm going to illustrate that by what happened yesterday. So without any further ado, let us go ahead and get started on here. So here's SPY. I'm showing the full year of 2019. It's just 2019. You can see we have gone through dips. Here was a pullback here back in May, and SPY recovered. Here was another one here in early August for how many days? Let me blow it up a little bit, increase. So we, just like we did last week on here, how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 days here. SPY sold off. We sold off for 5 consecutive days, and then it's trying to recover. It struggled a little bit. This was a very difficult time in August, but eventually SPY found its way. Actually, August and both September really went through a dip, because at the time that was an all-time high at the time, right? So 301 or so. It struggled mightily for 2 months on there, but at the end of the day, notice the similarities. You see these two candles on here? We have seen this type of candles before. So if anything serves right, not that I'm doing any type of forecast, I would suggest that tomorrow, Tuesday, the 3rd candle will be red, regardless of either we gap up at the beginning or what's to mirror some of this. We could even pull back to some level here below 300 in sometime this week, Wednesday or Thursday, or even Friday. But eventually, SPY and the people moving the market overall, they will want it to come back. Let me illustrate what happened yesterday, and that's really the reason for this video. I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart and show you what transpired yesterday. I want you here, for the subscriber, to get a sense of pattern recognition on how the market goes. Before we look at yesterday, let's look at how we closed on Friday. You see this huge candle? On Friday, this is on a 15-minute close where we went from 288 to 296. 8 points in just 15 minutes. This is a lot of money on here, guys and gals. Because if you were to take, let's say, the expiration on March the 2nd, you will have made a lot ton of money. But if you were sucked up into this news, the virus, this and that is going on, you would have missed those gains. And I'm going to give you a little piece of nuggets if you don't want to trade SPY, or on top of trading SPY. I'm going to share with you at the end of the video a pattern that I've noticed, and that actually I mentioned in the most recent article blog on successfultradings.com. So on Friday, they rallied up this market big time, just within the last 5 minutes. So that's one. The explanation was that the institution at the end of the month, they do what's called rebalancing the portfolio. So maybe they have to buy certain stock on whatever. So yeah, that was the justification in the trading rooms, and most traders, that was what to believe. Well, somebody knew something, obviously, because here we actually here it's a full hour. I've started testing 300 on here. I made some money on this puts on here, but at the time the news was coming that there are deaths related to the coronavirus virus in the Seattle area in the US. So as that news was coming and was spreading, I think more and more traders they were just trading the news. Do not trade the news. That's the one thing really when in this time of increased volatility. Trade what the charts show you. I sometimes, for me personally, some traders they have the TV on while they're trading. I do not have that. I do not. I stay away from that. I try as much as possible when I'm trading SPY weekly options. I strictly focus on the chart. So here was the support on the VWAP. So after this candle on here, you could have gone from 300 to 309. 9 points here by using even Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, March the 4th expiration. That's a lot of money, just like this one on here. So basically the last 3 days, if anything, the market has closed either strong or weak. So back here on Thursday, in a matter of an hour, we went from 304 to 298. So that's 6 points under. So my advice to you on Tuesday, make sure that you have enough ammo, aka enough cash for the last hour to do your scalping. That's really what's developing here as of now. The beginning of it was a bit of great deal of sideways, then SPY ran up a little bit, and then they tried to fake it as if it was selling off, and then it rallied. But the common theme on here is that the last hour of the trading session, the last 3 days, has been money. You wait for it, the pattern will develop. So here it was kind of obvious because we were trending below the VWAP for a while, the orange line, and then they just let it go. Over here, we were below the VWAP as well. That's the common point. And then just out of nowhere, they make it rip. But you would have made money here from 294 to 288. That was 6 points on here on put. Those scalps here would have worked as well. But if you were to do one of the things that we recommend on doing on SPY, strangling and getting ready for the next day, you have made your calls will have been very profitable on here. This move here was profitable as well from this apparent resistance at 303 to below 300. It was decent. It wasn't that much of a great, but for a Monday, for the option expiring on Monday, they were good. And then for the last hour, really, this rally was huge. So as of now, I believe that the futures, at least I am across the Atlantic, so the futures and Germany, it's about to open here in the next 10 minutes or so. They are looking just slightly bearish, but they have been wavering from green to red. So really, that's the takeaway on here on how to trade SPY weekly options in this type of increased implied volatility. So before I go, I'm going to give you a little piece of nugget. So SPY, as you know, it's made of several stocks. So what happened is that each one of those stocks, they have contribution on there. We have an article on successfultradings.com that I invite you to take a look at the distribution of the holdings. So we know that Apple and Microsoft accounts for really the lion's share of SPY. That we have a correlation study on there. So what has been happening since Thursday that I've noticed, the market makers are using some of these stocks actually to rally, mostly to stay bullish on SPY. On Thursday on here, if you can go and check it out, let me just quickly duplicate this here to share that. I traded Netflix calls. Netflix was running on Thursday. Netflix, they made Netflix run a bit on Thursday on the 27th. Look at it here. So you could have gone from 371 to 391 on that Thursday. That was it. And then what did they do on Friday? On Friday, it was NVDA. You notice that last candle that you saw on there? This is the same candle that SPY had at the close. This is the 28th on Friday. But even on Friday, from the opening, look at what happened to NVIDIA. If you were to buy, let me move this a little bit, guys. Here's NVIDIA, 242 to 272. I'm not kidding you. This is the same day. This is actually not even the same day. This is within the first 2 hours. I traded this. I scalped this. The only cardinal sin that I made was not to see this very early. But I think I started scalping NVIDIA. I scalped NVIDIA for 260 calls. I sold them. And then 265 calls, I sold them. And I think 270 calls, I sold them as well. It was a nice ride. It was a nice ride. So be on the lookout on those. I happen to have those stock in my watch list. So please leave a comment if you want me to share the watch list of stock that I used. And then yesterday, who will you guess that's actually the market maker used yesterday on the bullish side? It was Apple, guys. Apple was upgraded and they just make it go. Apple was making move yesterday. Similar move here actually as NVIDIA, but NVIDIA was stronger than Apple on that day. Yesterday, Apple mirrored SPY to the T. Sideways here to begin, then from 282 to 292. That's 10 points. So what's the big deal? But look at the close. Exactly as you saw here on SPY. Mirror. The correlation between, meaning what I mean by correlation is that if you take the closing price of SPY and the closing prices of Apple over time on a day-to-day and you do a correlation study, I'm not sure if I've done that live on one of these. I'm going to do that one of those. Is something easy to do. You're going to see that is very strong most of the time, but especially in times like this where they just like to take one of those major stock and make it move. So at least as of now, so they did NVIDIA, they use Netflix, and they use Apple. Microsoft most likely may be the next one for this week. But between those four, put them on top of your watch list, and along with SPY, that gives you 5 stocks that whatever direction the market it's moving, you are likely really to do well in trying to mirror your SPY or weekly option trading. So that's all I had for today. I hope that you take something out of this. I wanted to make this quick and so that most of you have that before the beginning of the next trading days in 6.5 hours here. Thank you very much for your time. Leave your comments. I'm receiving all of your questions. I'm trying to answer everybody a question on the YouTube channel, because really this content is tailored toward you guys. So I appreciate your coming out and giving me those comments. I appreciate them, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to successfultradings.com. In today's video,